Virtua Fighter is near and dear to my heart. I still enjoy Virtua Fighter 2 to this day, and it's still better than Tekken 1 and 2 if you ask me. But I thought of an idea. As Virtua Fighter 6 is being announced and in work development right now, I honestly thought that because of the marketing being so bad, I honestly think that the best way to kind of get their marketing up is to try and see if they can invite some guest characters in. I had some ideas of guest characters that would be really good for the Virtua Fighter 6 remake, or should I say a new game. So I took the time to note down some characters from the Sega franchise, and I thought it would be a good idea to make a video called Virtua Fighter Guest Characters. So I wanted to kick things off by giving you a breakdown of why I think these characters should deserve to be in the guest characters for Virtua Fighter 6. Kicking us off, we've got Barn from Fighting Vipers. If you don't know where Fighting Viper is, I think you should check it out. It's very fun, underrated, and it's got a lot on its plate. But specifically I picked Barn because he is well known for his most overpowered move ever. And honestly, it causes a lot of damage and it's quite brutal. Do you know that phrase?
He needs some milk.
Fighting Vipers is literally the best, honestly. I think it's amazing and fun. But I do have another character in mind that I think would be a good fit for this game specifically, and that is Grace. Grace is very fast when it comes to fighting. She is pretty fast. She reminds me a little bit like Pai Chang with her moves. And imagine her and Pai Chang just building a rivalry together, fighting each other, like one-on-one. That would be something else. But I honestly think that Grace is one of the characters that is a bit more popular and used in Fighting Vipers, so I think it's no brainer that she should be in this game specifically for Virtua Fighter 6. So then moving on from there, I wanted to focus on another game, Ryo from Shenmue. Ryo is pretty much known for his moves in this game, and his outfit, it goes pretty hard. But I honestly think that his fighting style works as well. Shenmue is a different game to Fighting Vipers and Virtua Fighter 6, but I think he is a really good fit for this game as well, honestly. And to top that off, Lang Di, his enemy, aka rival, I think is a really good one too. I think him and Pai Chang's father would be really good too. They both wear similar clothing, and it's kind of really nice to see that we have an evil person that just shows no emotion on his face and is pretty much upper the standards of Pai Chang's father. So I personally think that these two would be a good fit for the guest characters. Moving on from there, we have a video game called Yakuza, and to someone my knowledge, I think the best character for me has to be Kasuma. Now, Kasuma is the main protagonist of the game, and you know him from memes like this one, right? To me, I think a couple of Yakuza fighters is very good, and you need someone that's more brutal in on that side of things. I'm sure you got Go, who's part of this, but someone who's more entertaining and pretty much aggressive. I think this is the right one. Now, personally, I think that this is really nice to see some characters from Yakuza being involved in this game, and it's not just Kasuma alone. I also got people that I think would be really nice, and there are a couple of games from Yakuzas that had different main characters into the game. And honestly, this is one of the best games in my opinion. I think it's really fun and entertaining. But the two characters in my opinion are Ichiban and Sakamoto. I think these two are very good fitting for these guest characters as well. Now, I'm not the type of person that likes to give people some serious fighting, because I don't want all things to be serious. I do think a couple of these characters have shown different personalities in their own way. It's just that one of them is willing to fight for their lives and the others are just pretty much enjoying the fighting as well. So for me personally, I think it's all-rounded and so versatile, their fighting style. So I really like the fact that we can have someone like that who is versatile and doesn't just focus on one real-life fighting style, which what many people do in Virtua Fighter 6. So I think Virtua Fighter 6 guest characters are pretty much these three. And if you haven't tried Yakuza, I recommend giving these games a shot. These are pretty good in their own way. Now there is one game that I think is not mentioned, and there's a character called Yasuku Kudo, and I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong, but obviously I picked this character because he is part of the franchise for Sega. But does anyone remember the game called Last Bronx? I mean, you could say that it's like Virtua Fighter but with weapons, honestly, but as we dive deeper into the game itself, I kind of wish people would check this out a bit more, because honestly, I've tried it a couple times and I like the game a lot. I think it's really good, but honestly, I don't see people returning to it all that much now. But as you look back at it in the 90s, it was something else. It felt as if the environments really stepped up a lot. Now, I will say, I do like the dynamic when it comes to animations and camera angles when it comes to the grabs and the throws. It is really good. Some of these characters do have good rhythm to their combos, and I honestly think that this game could have done another sequel to see what it looks like, but I guess one's enough. But honestly, I look back at it and I think this environment that I'm looking at right now is gorgeous, and some of them are really good. So I do recommend going back to Lost Bronx, but honestly, I think that this would probably lead to them going back to this as well. And also, some people that might be hardcore fans of Lost Bronx will probably have a near and dear place in their hearts to think, oh, they finally added someone that is good for Virtua Fighter. Now, I don't actually know anyone that uses weapons in Virtua Fighter, but at least it will be something different compared to the others. So yeah, that's why I think he's the right person for this specific guest characters. And lastly, and we cannot forget, Axel from Streets of Rage. If you have not played this game, it is a masterpiece. Streets of Rage 4 is fantastic. I think that this is one of these characters, or any of these characters should be in it. The main three, obviously. But to my knowledge, I think that for me, even though Streets of Rage kind of gets some influences from your favorite childhood video game, I honestly think that this is one of the best of the best. Now, I would previously recommend going back to Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3, but Streets of Rage 4 was different. It was so amazing. But I honestly think these characters, who are known for having more of a different move and more of an inspiration to many fighting games that we know and love, honestly, I think they won't include anyone with powers, because in Virtua Fighter 6, they don't have characters that have shown their powers into it. And I don't mind it if they remove it in a certain way, and I hope they just make it more fun. But in reality, I think that they need to find a one way to use many characters for their fighting style. And yeah, that's pretty much my guest character list for Virtua Fighter 6. What do you guys think? Who should be added into the video game for Virtua Fighter 6? As there are new characters coming in, I'm actually looking forward to it a lot more. And I'm interested to see what they do next. So yeah, make sure you like this video and subscribe if you want. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for listening and stopping by. So yeah, peace.